It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Let's get out of here. Aye.
Hello everybody, it's Aaron from God a Minute, and we are looking for the potential rapture of the church, possibly in 2025. I just love to look at patterns. I love to look at math, and I like to present them. And sometimes math can get out of hand and get confusing, so hopefully this is going to be short and to the point for you and easy for you to understand. So Luke chapter 2, we've got a list of a genealogy of names. From God to Jesus, there's 77 names in Luke chapter 2, and I believe they're all male names. All right, so in Matthew chapter 1, we've got, it says that there's 14 generations and 14 generations and 14 generations, so that's 42. Well, there's a few names in Matthew where it mentions the woman, it mentions Ruth, it mentions, who else does it mention? It mentions, I'll go flip to it, it mentions Tamar, it mentions Rahab, it doesn't say Bathsheba, but we know that's who it's referring to. And so there's a couple female names in Matthew chapter 1. Now I know there's some discrepancies and some unknowns there. I think there might be a name missing in Matthew 24 for good reason, and there's actually, it seems to be a name maybe added in Luke, but that's besides the point. The way that we read it, in Luke there are 77 male names, and in Matthew it says there's 14 and 14 and 14. I'll show you where that's said in Matthew 1:17. So 14 generations. Right, so David, from Abraham to David is 14 generations, from David to the captivity, 14 generations, and from the captivity until Christ, 14 generations. Okay, so that's neat. So Israel will be 77 in 2025. Israel will be 84 in 2032. There you go. It's pretty simple. What a fantastic pattern. Now, here's the thing though, if you think of it as adding the significant other, the wife of the man, so 42 times 2, in other words 42 times the bride. Well, if you get to Jesus, will the 84th person or the 84th body be the bride of Christ? You know, it's no more Jew and Gentile, it's humanity, it's mankind with Christ under his millennial kingdom. Well, this is another really exciting thing too, which I'm probably never going to forget this whole year. But we've got Aleph, Dalet, Mem, that's Adam. And that's got a value of 45. Aleph is a value of 1, Dalet's got a value of 4, and Mem's got a value of 40. So that's 45 times 45. Well, that equals 2025. That's incredible. We see these words as Strong's H120. That's basically means mankind. H121 specifically means Adam. It's spelled the same with different vowel points. And the word red is also with this spelling. So there's that word red when it's talking about the horse, the chariots in Zechariah 6, which could relate to the seals. But there's mankind. You and I are just human beings, part of the mankind. So mankind, because of the first Adam, because of his sin, we're in trouble. But because of the second Adam, Jesus, we're saved. And so that ends up being 2025. I think that's fascinating. Okay, and here's just another random piece of information that I just didn't know where to put it. So in Matthew is the 40th book in the Bible, and Isaiah has 66 chapters. That's very interesting. And in chapter 40, which would equate to Matthew, we've got this. It says this. I'll pull it up here. Isaiah 40, verse 3. The voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Okay, so the 40th book relates to Matthew. So in Matthew, it says that. It says that in Matthew chapter 3. Go over to that one. And so Isaiah 40, verse 3 matches Matthew chapter 3. So hopefully you understand that connection here. Here's Matthew chapter 3. The voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord, make his paths straight. So there's one of many math connections. Again, Matthew being the 40th book of the Bible, and it says in verse 3 what it's quoting there. But it's in Matthew chapter 3. Does that make sense? So Matthew chapter 3 is Isaiah 43. The math checks out wonderfully. And if you use that same concept here, Isaiah 42 relating to Luke, and remember, a lot of people consider Luke to be written to the bride or to the Gentiles. What does it say in Isaiah 42? Behold, my servant, whom I uphold, my elect, one in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit upon him. He will bring forth justice to the Gentiles. Ooh, 42nd book of the Bible, number 42. He goes on to talk about more things for the Gentiles. This was actually quoted in Luke chapter 2. So Luke 2:32. So anyway, just showing you some fun math, but we've got a genealogy list of 77 male names in Luke chapter 2. Israel's 77 this year. Matthew, we've got 42 names, but if you use the women, because there's a few times there's women mentioned in there, that would end up being a total of 84. And again, will Jesus be united with the bride, so to speak, in 2032? Well, time will tell, but just wanted to put that just clearly as a picture. Sometimes a picture says 1,000 words. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So I don't know if this is the year, but it certainly mathematically these things are not a coincidence. So hey, go Jesus, go, one day closer. I hope this is the year. And adios, muchachos.